What's going on, everybody? It's AG here. Let's go ahead and break down the West region, headlined by Florida. Join me down in the comment section. Let me know your pick to come out of the West and get to the Final Four. First off, Florida, Norfolk State. Don't see Florida having a problem. They are absolutely rolling right now, led by Walter Clayton and Elijah Martin. Elijah Martin, if you don't remember, has been here before at Florida Atlantic. So, something to keep an eye on as we move on. All right, 8-9 matchup, UConn, Oklahoma. You've got UConn, team that won the national championship the last 2 years. This is not that team. Obviously, I don't think this team can win a national championship, but a team to keep an eye on that could go on a run. Oklahoma, Porter Moser, head coach of Loyola Chicago, when they went on a run a couple years ago. This one, 8-9 matchups are always pretty 50-50. Looking at who is UConn has beat, though, Gonzaga, Marquette, Creighton, Texas, Baylor, all tournament teams. As for Oklahoma, they had a good non-con. Once they got to the SEC, kind of struggled. You got one over Arizona, but then a ton of losses in the SEC. I think UConn wins this one. All right, so these three games right here, Memphis, Colorado State, Maryland, Grand Canyon, Missouri, Drake, I think are all coin flip games. Those are all games to watch. Memphis, Colorado State, both teams that are absolutely rolling right now. Memphis, 29-5 out of the American Conference. Now, I think the question mark here is Tyrese Hunter's health at point guard. You may remember him from Texas, from Iowa State. Memphis's schedule, wins over UNLV, San Fran, UConn, Michigan State, Clemson, all good teams right there, and Ole Miss. As for Colorado State, loss versus Ole Miss, wins over Utah State, Boise State, but Colorado State is rolling right now. I think they've won 10 in a row. As good as they're playing, I think Memphis is too good. Give me Memphis here, but this is a game to keep an eye on. Maryland, Grand Canyon. Maryland coming in at 25-8 out of the Big Ten. Grand Canyon, 26-7. You remember them last year? Beat St. Mary's in the first round, gave Alabama a pretty good game in the second round. The reason their record is a little iffy for me is because their best player has been out. You may remember Tyne Grant Foster from last year. Played pretty good in the tournament. He's been out for a lot of the games, just came back in their conference tournament. Obviously, that helped them win the tournament, also led by Jacoby Coles from TCU. But as far as who they've played, they've got a close loss to Georgia team that made the tournament. But again, they're kind of iffy because now he was there during those games, but Grant Foster was out for a lot of those games in conference play. For Maryland, all right, close loss to Marquette, wins over Ohio State, Illinois, Wisconsin. This one, Maryland, I think their starting five, they act like leads the country in points, but I like Grand Canyon in the upset here. Give me Grand Canyon. Missouri and Drake, interesting matchup, kind of contrast to styles here. Missouri 22-11, Drake 30-3. This is going to be a popular upset pick probably. Drake, their best win, probably Vanderbilt. Beat them in a tournament game. Vanderbilt is a tournament team. Missouri, wins over Kansas, but a lot of losses. One over Florida, one over Bama. I think from what I've seen, Drake is not athletic enough to keep up with Missouri when it comes to like SEC type of teams. So give me Missouri in that one. Texas Tech, UNC Wilmington. Despite not having a lot of losses, I don't think UNC Wilmington's good enough. So give me Tech here. I don't think Tech has any issues there, but it sets up a pretty good matchup, Missouri and Tech. Kansas, Arkansas, Bill Self, John Calipari. Arkansas really up and down this year. Same thing for Kansas, though. They've got guys that have been here, though, which is why I think Kansas gets the edge here. You've got Hunter Dickinson, remember him from Michigan, but also they still have a couple starters from that team a couple years ago that went to national championships, so give me Kansas. St. John's, Omaha. I don't see St. John's having any issue with Omaha, so give me St. John's there. All right, back up at the top. Florida, UConn. Like I said, UConn has guys that have played here before. Alex Caravan is one, McNeely, but I think Florida's too good. They're hot right now. Give me Florida easy. Memphis, Grand Canyon. This is a pretty solid matchup. Memphis is rolling as well, though. I know Grand Canyon is kind of getting on a run here, but Memphis has good wins. Like I said, UConn and Michigan State in particular, as well as Clemson. But Grand Canyon, they've got some dudes that can roll. This one's almost a coin flip for me as well. I'm going to lean Grand Canyon. Give me Grand Canyon there. I think Grand Canyon gets the upset. Missouri, Texas Tech. Tech's played pretty good this season, though. Beat Houston. I like Texas Tech and Grant McCaslin. I think he's doing good things. Kansas, St. John's. Like I said, Kansas has guys that have been here. St. John's, though, piling up the wins this year. But again, how strong is the Big East? That's a question mark. They've got a loss to Baylor. Kansas has beaten teams a lot better than Baylor. Give me Kansas in the upset. I think Kansas beats St. John's. Florida Grand Canyon. I think Florida is too deep, too big. I don't see them having an issue with Grand Canyon, with Colorado State, with Memphis. The biggest team that could give them an issue is Maryland, but I don't know if Maryland's going to make it out of the first round. All right, then Texas Tech, Kansas, Big 12 rematch. I actually like Kansas in this one. I think Kansas can get hot. They're either a team that could lose in the first round or go on a run to the Final Four. So we got a Florida-Kansas matchup in the Elite Eight. I think Florida's a lot more consistent than Kansas. They're big enough to play with Kansas and give them issues. Give me Florida, go into the Final Four to have a rematch with Auburn. But who do you think gets out of the West? Comment down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.